kids are getting pretty wild in there, man. Is that safe?
Yeah, they're fine. I've got their keys.
Everybody, we're going to start off where we left off yesterday, talking about the Americans before the
Hey, have a beer, man. You deserve it.
It's not worth it. Underage drinking risks everything you're working for.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Safe Streets Coalition meeting. For August, I'm Chris Schultz. I'm your host. Considered wearing beach attire today, but we have important business to go, so we're wearing business clothes today. Want to thank you all so much for coming out here to make our commitment to make Topeka and Shawnee County the safest capital community in the country. I'd like to start out, please, at the beginning of the meeting, if you could sign in on the yellow sheet on your table so we know that you're here. We can send you the updates on what's going on here. And I'd like to thank our new members. We have Brandon Boyd from Partners for Wichita. Give him a round of applause. And another member, we have Captain Justin Bramlett from the Kansas Highway Patrol. Give him a round of applause. And if you are a visitor here, do we have any visitors? Excellent. Please sign up with Judy in the back of the room. Judy's right over there by the lunch table. She will get you signed up to be a member of the coalition. We'd love you. It's free to join, and we'll keep you all up to date with everything that we're doing. We'd also like to thank our friends from City 4 for being here to make sure that everyone has the ability in the city to see this meeting. So give Ronaldo and our friends over there for City 4 a good round of applause. All right, and now, without any further ado, it gives me a pleasure to introduce Trey George, the chair of Safe Streets here, to give us the tip of the month. Yeah, and he loves that applause too, so you better do that.
Thank you very much, Chris. How are y'all doing today? Good. The tip of the month this month is courage. The definition of courage is the confidence to say, do what is true, right, or just. Sometimes it's not always easy to say something, especially if you are in fear of repercussions or something of that sort. So it takes courage to stand up and speak about issues that are going on in your neighborhood. I would definitely encourage anybody and everybody, if you have something happening in your neighborhood that you feel law enforcement needs to be involved or aware of, definitely share that information, but also just sharing information amongst your neighbors so that everybody's aware of what's going on. If you come to these meetings on a regular basis, I'm going to share with you a quote that is one of my favorites that I've definitely said in the past, but it's by actor and comedian Lily Tomlin. What she said was, I wondered why somebody was not doing something, and then I realized that I am somebody. And so I would just remind everybody in the room today that you are somebody, and it takes all of us in order to do the right thing. So thank you very much. I'll turn it back over to Chris, who really loves applause.
If I knew the applause was coming, I would have sat in the back of the room. Great. Thank you, Trey. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our friends from the Character Council up here. So please welcome Cindy Patton, and if you're on that committee, please join us up here as we announce our champion of character for the month. Who loves applause too, I tell you, they do.
We're going to recognize Aaron Bulmer today, and Chief, I was wondering if you can give that award when. So, Aaron, where are you? There you are. All you had to do is stand up. Yeah, come on forward. Chief, if you would go ahead and read that plaque for us.
Certainly. Aaron, as the strength, see if we can do this. As the strength of our nation is dependent upon the health and safety of its communities, the strength of our community is dependent upon the character of its citizens. We, the Character Council of Kansas, in conjunction with the Topeka City of Character and Safe Streets Coalition of Topeka and Shawnee County, recognize Aaron Bulmer. On April 30th, 2017, at 11:30 hours, Topeka Police Department Officer Aaron Bulmer was patrolling in the area of 6th and Clay, attempting to locate subjects involved in an altercation in the area. While looking for these subjects, Officer Bulmer observed a small child, 4 years old, walking toward the pond located at the Central Park Community Center. Officer Bulmer was exiting his vehicle to speak to the child when the child fell into the pond. Officer Bulmer immediately jumped into the pond after the child and was able to pull the child to safety. This demonstrates responsibility, honor, and decisiveness, making Aaron Bulmer the champion of character.
You can have the microphone.
I'll give it to him in a second. I'm not done yet.
You're not done. Oh, okay.
Just this week, we got notified from Washington, D.C. of the National Missing and Exploited Children's program up there. And Officer Bulmer in October, hopefully you already know this, in October will be receiving their award up there in Washington, D.C. So it's a great honor.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out today, and I really appreciate this honor. Going back to April 30th and reflecting about 3 months later, it's still pretty overwhelming. Even the video that was taken from my Axon camera, it's still 3 months later, it still chokes me up, just like a lot of people. The video went viral. It went all over the world. Even still daily, I receive messages from parents of young children that have autism. They tell me that the video really hits home to them and their children, and I've received hundreds, almost 1,000 instant messages on Facebook from parents all over the world. So this is an honor. As a Topeka police officer, my instincts and my intuition that day and my training, everything kicked in. I also believe in divine intervention. I believe that God used me as an instrument that day to save that small child. And any time that we can save a life, and especially a child, that's a pretty awesome experience. So I want to thank you for this award for the champion of character. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your warm recognition for the officer. And if you have a nomination, be sure and get it to us. You can go on to our website, and you can also contact Safe Streets or Topeka City of Character, and we'd be glad to help you get that nomination in. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. And one more round of applause for the Character Council and for our hero today. All right, and now to get a little business done, we need to approve the June minutes. So I'll look for a motion from the floor to approve those minutes. Assume we have a movement. We have a second? All right, second. All in favor of approval, say aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, the minutes are approved. Now please welcome Director of Safe Streets, Miss Christy Pankratz, up here to give an update.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Great to see everyone here today. In case you didn't pick up on it, there's a slight theme going on today with some of the shirts. We're celebrating our neighborhoods and getting prepared for National Night Out, which is this weekend. We have a kickoff event, which I believe Alpha Media will be here in a little bit to kind of tell us a little bit more about. We have the actual day of events, and we'll go over all this stuff. Judy Wilson, our office coordinator and N&O project coordinator, will be going over this shortly. But we also have a retailers meeting that is geared towards loss prevention officers as well as store managers. It meets on a monthly basis. We have the N&O wrap-up coming up August 15th, as well as a substance abuse task force, which looks at underage substance usage. So if that's anything that anyone would like to be a part of, we would love to have you join us for those things. Just really, our core focus has really been on National Night Out the last month, give or take, as well as a few months before that. And we're just so grateful to the community for all of the participation that we've seen thus far, and we're gearing up to make it the best. So I will turn this back over to Chris.
Thank you, Christy, and how about a round of applause for all the hard work they do at Safe Streets here. All right, now it's time for our partner updates. Please welcome Sergeant Dan Wilson from the Topeka Police Department. And he's packing heat. You gotta give him the applause there. There you go.
You don't have to. All right, on our crime stats, as you can see on the violent crime, a lot of those are steady or up a little bit. I would agree with what Trey said. If you see something, if you know something, let us know. That's the way a lot of that kind of stuff can get taken care of and solved. The second slide that we have shows our property crimes. Those are all great numbers. And that's, again, people calling us, reporting stuff, saying stuff, if they know something. And those numbers are excellent, especially for summer months. Kids are out this time of year, so a lot of those numbers go up. But like I said, just what Trey said, if you see something, if you know something, call us, let us know. We need your help. On our slides, over the last 6 weeks or so, with the help of the Topeka Police ambassadors and McDonald's, we were able to go out. I think we went to all the McDonald's that are owned here in town and handed out child ID kits. It was a great opportunity for us to get out, meet some kids, work with our ambassadors who are a great partner for us as well as a local business, and help out community members. I went with the theme here, National Night Out. The kickoff party is Friday at WIBW up at 6th and Commerce. Come out and see us. And if you are involved in National Night Out, last year was my first year to be involved. It was an excellent event. I was amazed by the community support and the partnerships between Safe Streets, Topeka Police Department, Sheriff's Department, Fire Department, all our local partners working together. It was an awesome event. I think we have over 80 neighborhoods in the county and city involved. If you're not already involved, I'd strongly encourage you to be. And finally, our community unit went out a couple nights over the summer, over the last month, and went to cheer on some of our biggest fans, the Special Olympics. They play softball on, I think it's Wednesday nights out at Felker Park. They're done for this year, but it's an amazing opportunity to go see some really special people, and they enjoyed having us out there cheering them on. That's all I got.
Thanks, Sergeant Wilson. Now please welcome Deputy Anderson from the Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. Applause, definitely, right?
Good afternoon. I'm Shana Anderson with the Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. I'm part of our Community Services Unit. With school out during the summer, one of the things that our school resource officers, as well as myself, do, we coordinate and host a summer camp. This was our 13th or 14th year that we held our annual summer camp. It started with a group of like 15 kids at Hayden High School the first year, and it's grown to be a pretty huge undertaking for us. We have expanded to 3 locations this year. We added a 3rd camp. So we were at Seaman for a week, Shawnee Heights for a week, and then our new location was at Hayden. It's a week-long camp for kids that are going into 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. It's completely free. The only thing they have to worry about is getting there and getting picked back up. It's from 8 a.m. until noon, that Monday through Friday of the week. It's a great opportunity for kids in our community to learn about what we do at the Sheriff's Office, what all goes into law enforcement. A lot of our presentations that we have for the kids are from our deputies. So we have canine presentations, SWAT presentation, TASER. We show them a lot of videos and pictures. It's not just them sitting and listening to us. It's a lot of hands-on, active learning for them. They get to actually, pick up a lot of the equipment that our SWAT officers use. They get to see a canine in action, kind of taking down one of our officers. And then we have help from other people in our community. The fire department comes out. We had KHP come out with their helicopters to the Hayden camp. AMR brings an ambulance. Lynn Smith from PARS comes and does a drug prevention presentation. So a wide variety of topics and activities for the kids. Most popular is probably dodgeball. We play a lot of dodgeball, some kickball. The deputies are still undefeated. I'll have to throw that in there. We don't lose. But this year, not only did we add our third location at Hayden, we also partnered with the Boys and Girls Club. So we went out to the Abbott Center, the Teen Center, and spent an afternoon with some of the kids out there. We kind of condensed a week-long camp into an afternoon, so they got to hang out with us and learn a lot about what we do. And then we also spent an afternoon just this last Monday at the Paris Community Center in Montera with some of the younger kids, and same thing, we crammed a whole week of camp into one day. Again, dodgeball, lots of dodgeball, outside running around, playing basketball, knockout. Just spending time with the kids, a great way for us to build a positive relationship with the kids in our community and getting to know them and them getting to know us on a more of a personal level and not just seeing us out stopping cars and arresting people and all those things that we do. They get to have fun with us and hang out with us for a little bit. So if you have a kid, a grandkid, a neighbor, a friend that will be going into 6th, 7th, or 8th grade next year, starting in about February, we'll start advertising for our camp. Like I said, it's completely free. They get a t-shirt, we feed them snacks, and we have a pizza party the last day. So it's a really fun camp, great way for them to spend their morning for about a week. So if you're interested, look us up and we'll get you an application.
Thank you, Deputy Anderson. All right, and now for the moment you've all been waiting for, it's our special presentation, and of course it has something to do with something that might be happening this weekend. Does anybody know about something happening this weekend? Christy, do you know anything that's happening this weekend? I don't know. Okay, well maybe we could talk about that. Christy Pankratz. Here we go.
All right. As I kind of alluded to earlier, today is all about the neighborhoods and National Night Out. I'd like to invite Judy Wilson, who is the N&O Project Coordinator, without whom none of this would be possible, to come and talk a little bit about what National Night is and some of the stuff behind it. So let's give Judy a hand of applause.
Well, we are really excited about National Night Out, and I hope you are too. We started this planning in March. It was standing room only in the library. So you can imagine how many people are involved to make this happen. We had planning meetings in March, May, June, and July, and now it's ready for the event. I know that you're probably wondering how many people are going to be involved in this. We have 85 neighborhoods as of this morning, and more than 13,000 people participating. Last year we had 76 neighborhoods and 9,500 people. So you see that it has really grown this year. You probably wonder, where can I find all of the neighborhoods listing? You can go to our Facebook page, N&O Topeka. You can go to Safe Streets website, and they're all listed there as well. I wanted to tell you a little bit about what's going on this week, or really what started on Monday. Monday was pickup day, and if you were by our office, you saw the Target truck if you were there at 7 o'clock, and they unloaded 700 cases of water. Christy was out in the parking lot unloading all the water into the neighborhood cars. So she was kept really busy out there. If you were in our conference room, it was stacked to the ceiling with chips and paper plates and flatware and goodies from Crime Stoppers and all of our other partners. And it was really great to see all the neighborhoods there. Now, Tori is going to tell us a little bit in a little bit about the kickoff. The kickoff party is on Friday from 5:30 to 7:30, and she'll tell you a little bit more about that. Now, National Night Out begins on Saturday morning. I think the first one is about 7:30 in the morning. The last one to start would be 8 p.m., and they're having a movie. So all during the day and evening, you could go visit neighborhoods. We have them this year in the county as well as the city. They're from Auburn to Barryton to Rossville, just all over the county. So we hope that you'll join. If you're not having one in your neighborhood, join some of the others. You'll have a great time.
Well, this event would not be possible without a lot of our sponsors. The Topeka Police Department, thank you, Chief Kramer. The Shawnee County Sheriff's Office, thank you, sir. Greatly appreciate your support and dedication to this event. We also have a lot of other companies and businesses who have come on board. We have Target, Reese's, Hy-Vee, McDonald's, Topeka Metro, and also Alpha Media. Tori, come on up here. This is Tori. She is with WIBW Radio, Alpha Media. They are hosting the fifth annual kickoff party. This started the first year I was here, and this has been a great addition to National Night Out. So I'd like for you to tell us a little bit more about it.
Thank you, Chrissy. Just for those that don't know me, my name is Tori Barrett. I serve as the promotions director for Alpha Media Topeka. We do have 4 radio stations as well as 2 statewide networks up at the top of Huntoon Hill. Alpha Media is a fairly new name, so you may know us better by, like Christy said, WIBW Radio. And we are very excited. To tell a little background, this is kind of like my baby. This is the first major event I planned 2 years ago upon coming on board in June, and it was kind of the first event. So I hold National Night Out near and dear to my heart, as do the radio stations. I'm like Christy and Judy have both mentioned, Friday night from 5:30 to 7:30 at our studio location, 1210 Southwest Executive Drive. We will be having the 5th annual kickoff party. Last year, we had our biggest attendance yet with over 800 people. So this year we are expecting close to 1,000, and we have 1,000 hot dogs, 1,000 buns, 1,000 bags of chips, 1,000 cans of soda. Soda was just dropped off at the studios today. So I don't drink soda, and I cannot eat 1,000 hot dogs. So please come and help with that. The hot dogs and chips are all free. It's a meal for your families. You can come out and get a free meal. We have lots of partners coming to support us and to be at the event, including Helping Hands Humane Society. The library is going to bring out a bookmobile. All of the law enforcement agencies will be there with different vehicles, different activities. The Sertoma Duck Race will be there with the inflatable Quacky, and if the weather permits, actual Quacky may come out. And just lots of fun, lots of different activities. And Kona Ice is a new sponsor this year. They will be there charging for their shaved ice, but they're donating 20% back to Safe Streets, which is great. So this is the first year we'll be able to give some monetary donation back to Safe Streets for their great event. If you guys have any questions for me, just let me know. And Christy knows how to get a hold of me. I'll also be available afterward. But otherwise, we look forward to seeing you all on Friday at 5:30.
Thank you so much. We are so grateful to have all of the wonderful support from all of our local media partners as well, too. So thank you so much. And if you haven't been out to one, it's a great time to get to know your collective neighbors, not just the ones that you live next to, but the ones throughout your community. So just a great, great time. Now I'd like to take a moment and have some of our neighborhoods come up and tell you a little bit about what they're doing and why National Night Out is important to them. First off, I'd like to have Steve Christenberry. He is with Barryton and has been doing this for quite a while, and like to have him come tell you a little bit about what they're doing and why it's important to them.
All right, thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Christy. I'm wearing our Community Emergency Response Team cap because about 10 years ago I got involved with that. It's a volunteer group that's under Shawnee County Emergency Management, and we started what we call Barryton CERT out in the Barryton area. The idea is to be able to respond to and assist doing light damage assessments and assist emergency management should there be a disaster like a tornado and whatever. Well, one of the things we recognize, if you know anything about Barrington, it's an unincorporated. We have an elementary school, we have 2 churches, and we have a post office. And then Barrington, really the rest of us, and we have the sheriff living out in our neck of the woods too, thank you. But really it kind of is spread out over all of Monmouth Township. So we're not like a cul-de-sac, we're not like a tight little neighborhood. And so 6 years ago, well, 6 years ago, when I went to one of Judy's first meetings at the library, found out about Next Door Neighborhood, which, if you know, is a neighborhood kind of website. We set the first one up in Shawnee County. I'll pat myself on the back for that. But and it's awesome because we've got something like 650, 700 people out in our area because we're spread out from 45th to the Osage County line to Douglas County to over to, around Topeka Boulevard. And people live in their 3 and 5 acre lots and all that. So we don't have tight little neighborhoods with the exception of a few places like where Sheriff Jones lives. So anyway, we started doing Next Door 6 years ago. So this will be number 6 for us. We usually have several hundred people there, 300, 400, 500 people. We have antique cars, we have antique tractors, we have food just like everybody else does. That's always an attractant for folks. But the main idea is because we're so spread out and so diverse is just get our neighbors together and get to know one another and then stress the idea of see something, say something, watch your neighbor's back, crime prevention stuff. And so it's a phenomenal event. We have just a small crew that really does all the work, but it's well worth the effort. And I applaud every neighborhood, 85 this time, 85 in the county that are doing this. This is just awesome, and I'm just happy that our CERT team can be a part of that. So thank you.
All right, so you can see we have some county neighborhoods that are represented. We also have High Crest represented today, and Sandy Swartz is here to talk a little bit about what they're doing and why it's important to them. So let's give Sandy a round of applause as she's coming forward. You are quite all right.
I'm just glad I'm walking. I broke my left ankle in January and sprained the right one at the same time. It takes talent. I had to learn how to walk again this spring. And with God's help, I did it. And a lot of determination. But I've been a part of the High Crest Neighborhood Improvement Association for years, since I moved in there in the mid-90s. And we have always tried to have a national night out group, and several different people have taken it over the years. Nellie Hogan couldn't make it here tonight. Some of y'all know her, or this afternoon. She had something come up, and then Maggie Pinnick had something come up. So guess who they asked? And I said, yeah, I think I can get there. We're going to be starting our party on Saturday at 5 p.m. And besides food and stuff, we're going to have a bouncy house. I'm not taking charge of that one. Someone else can do it. A blues band. I understand the police will be there. The sheriffs will probably be there. I hope the fire department is there with their things. And what we're trying to do is just let the neighbors know what is available in the area. We have NetReach right there at Avondale Elementary School, what used to be Avondale. And when they closed the school, we wanted to make sure that something was in there so that school was going to be taken care of and it wouldn't end up like Sumner. And so we worked at it, and we keep on them about it too. But we're so glad to have NetReach there. and y'all are part of that. And Barry Feeker is part of it, and he's the one that got us all together, I guess, and got our program started. And it's running good. I'm glad to say that it's doing very well. So y'all are welcome to come to our party. We'd love to have you. And any of us that are serving kind of all know each other. So just come up and say hi to us and tell us where you're from.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Sandy. One of the cool things about National Night Out, like I said, is it's not just for neighborhoods, it's also for any type of facility. We have apartment complexes that have come on, and we've also had a retirement home. So you're the chosen ones to speak, I take it. This is Jeremy Hall with Brewster Place. Give him a round of applause.
Barrington, you may have the sheriff now, but when he retires, he wants to live where I live. So, which some people may hope it's sooner than later. No. I'm with Brewster, sorry. You know where I'm parked, right? Jeremy Hall, and I'm with Brewster Place. And ours is kind of different, because for a lot of people, we're not a neighborhood like you are. We do have security. Nick Bonfiglio is with me here, and he's the director of our security. So a lot of our residents and a lot of our community, we turn to that security first before we reach outside of that. However, we have over 350 residents, and a lot of them are impacted a lot more than by the crime in the community, but they're by solicitation phone calls for things, or scams, or quite often we'll have people get the phone call that their nephew is away and stuck in the Philippines and needs to be wired $1,500 right now. And they haven't heard from that nephew in a long time, and they love them, and they're ready to do it. And they're ready to make that call. And the problem with crimes like that is they're not reported. If somebody comes and smashes the window of your house, you call the police, you call the sheriff, you call, and you get it taken care of. If you see weird people walking around your neighborhood, you might make that phone call. But if you get tricked into a financial scam, quite often you don't do anything about it because you're embarrassed. I got a call, and this is embarrassing, and I hate to say this, you can stop recording now, but I got a call 2 days after we did a big fraud program. And I got a call, and it said, hey, this is the IRS, and if you don't pay this thing soon, you're going to be in trouble. And I was almost listening to that until he said, and this involves you again, Sheriff, he said, we will have the sheriff come right to you right now and get you. And then I thought, oh. I said, you tell Herman where I'm at, and I'm at work, and let him know where I am. And they didn't know what to say. And I thought, hey, if they're from this area, they know who the sheriff is. But my heart was racing, and I was very concerned about that, and I think I'm a fairly smart person. So it's one of those things. A lot of what we have, it's a time to get together to talk about crime, not just being the property crime, but the other things that are happening. And so we have, this is our second year, I believe. We had about 120 people out last year. Our security team is the one that serves them and takes care of them, and it gets them to talk and communicate, and it gets people to talk about some of the problems they've had that they don't want to admit they've had because they're afraid, well, if I tell my kids this happened, they might want to take away my ability to manage my own finances or something like that. So we want to make sure that people realize that they need to talk about it and need to get those crimes taken care of, and so we're happy to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you. And we are so happy to have them a part of us. We also, last year, I believe was the first year, we brought on Topeka Housing Authority properties, and we have Rockette from Pine Ridge here to say a few words. Come on up. Trey, too. All right, thank you guys for being here.
Hello again. Okay, well, I was gonna kick this off real quick. Like, as Christy said, last year was the first year, actually, that any of our neighborhoods have participated in. We had 3 different neighborhoods, Echo Ridge, Pine Ridge, and Deer Creek, which is our 3 largest family sites. You're gonna hear from Rockette in just a moment, who helped organize the National Night Out at Pine Ridge last year as well as this year. But a big reason why all this was happening was actually in partnership with United Way. We've been working on a grant together for the last, coming up on 3 years now, called the NOW Initiative, which is the Neighborhood Opportunity for Wellness. It's a 100% resident-led initiative, and it empowers our residents to look at health in the broadest meaning in their neighborhood, and safety was one of the items that a lot of our residents picked up on. So we are very grateful for that partnership. We could not do what we do without our wonderful residents, and I have to tell you, Ms. Roquette is one of our Pine Ridge super parents. She's absolutely amazing. She gets involved in everything in the neighborhood. Anything we need help with, anything we need to get information out on, Roquette is always there. So I will turn it over to Ms. Roquette.
I'm not used to talking, but I'm Roquette. This is my second year planning at in Pine Ridge. We're having a cookout and a talent show. That's the theme. Our theme is a talent show, and we do this just to see get our community together, find out who's in our community. So in case we do see strange people walking, we also talk if they can't talk to. Our officer out there, or they can't talk to Trey, they always talk to me, and then I talk to the rest of them.
So for our other two communities, so we're kicking things off at Echo Ridge at 4 o'clock, and then Pine Ridge is 4 to 6 for Echo Ridge, 5 to 7 for Pine Ridge, and then 6 to 8 for Deer Creek. So we're overlapping a little bit, so staff can kind of meet at all three. And so, I think just overall, we're excited for the cookouts, and again, just engaging all the residents and making sure they know each other, as well as some of the community partners that are working with them directly. So again, thanks to THA and the residents, and make this all possible.
And since nobody is here from Deer Creek today, I do have to say they did win Stuff the Bus last year. I think it was, there's a discrepancy in the actual number, but it's somewhere between 147 and 247 people, but it was a ton of people on that bus. So thank you all.
And for those of you not familiar, Topeka Metro does a Stuff the Bus challenge at about 10 different neighborhoods. Last year, Deer Creek won it. I think they had a lot of little kids, because if you've ever been on a Metro bus, to get 140 people on there, that might be a little tight. And who knows better about trying to get things on a Topeka Metro bus than Janet Rice with Wood Valley. Had to do the introduction. There was one year she may have tried to get a horse on the bus, which is what she is infamous for. So Janet, come on up. She is with Wood Valley Watchers. Hi, Janet.
Hi, Christy. Well, I didn't just try to get it on the bus. I did get it on the bus. She failed to tell you that. And then they told me I couldn't count it. Yeah, thank you. It wasn't in the rules that I couldn't do it, but it was the next year, so I put a dog on the next year. I am Wood Valley Watchers, and we are awesome. Christy told me to say that because I really didn't want to talk. We have a whole lot of people that come over, a whole lot of people that help us out. We're notorious for doing things the first time. Frozen t-shirt contests. We started that little fad. And that was a lot of fun. Gosh, we've had hot air balloons. We've had Air National Guard, obstacle course. We've had all kinds of things. This year, we're going to have BACA. Does anybody in here know who BACA is? Raise your hands. Bikers Against Child Abuse. And so we're going to have these big, mean-looking bikers, and their logo on the back of them. And hopefully people will come and find out what BACA is all about. They are out there to help the kids when they're in a real tough situation, court situations, kids who are abused. And it's one of those things that really isn't talked about a whole lot, so it seems like a good opportunity to put it out there so that people feel free to come up and ask questions. We will be at Horn Park from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday evening, And whoever's in charge of the weather, thank you very much. It's going to be another wonderful evening like last year was. I am also a member of the Citizens Academy Ambassadors for the Topeka Police Department. We've been kind of busy fingerprinting kids in the last month. That's been a lot of fun, 292 kids fingerprinted at McDonald's. We do plan on that continuing. I don't think we'll be doing any of it at National Night Out. It's a little bit messy, but it's a good time also. So if you're not involved with your National Night Out group, please go and take part in their celebration. Get to know your neighbors, because that is the most affordable crime prevention tool available. I can't out-talk that. Oh, I don't know. We'll find out. But anyway, do go to, Saturday night or Saturday day or whenever your neighborhood is involved with their event. If you don't know where your neighborhood is, call Safe Streets, go online, find out where your party is. If you still don't know, come to Horn Park. We have everybody welcome at ours. Doesn't matter where you live. Just come and enjoy and celebrate with us. Special thanks to Safe Streets for putting this all together. Judy, we're not worthy of you. You're awesome. Christy, I've never seen you move so much water in my entire life. Topeka Police Department will be there. Sheriff's Office will be there. I'm not sure about the DA. Is he coming? Okay. So everybody else is coming. You might as well too. We'll see you Saturday.
As you can tell just from those short examples, the events that are going on Saturday are as diverse as our community. So there's a lot of different things going on, which is why I kind of love this community, because everything's reflective of the individual neighborhood, and that's what National Night Out is kind of getting to know your own neighborhood in a collective way. So if you haven't already, I encourage you to go to safestreets.org to see a listing of events, or you can see Judy in the back. She does have a printout. Or visit our Facebook page. If you haven't already liked us, In&O Topeka, we will be posting videos and photos of all the events we can cover, and we encourage you to post to that as well too. If you are involved in any way with National Night Out, whether you're attending or organizing your event or one of the resources that has provided us information or will, stand up. If you're involved in National Night Out in any way, stand up. We have about almost the entire room standing, guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. This is awesome. And why we have seen this grow is because of the neighborhoods and their love and dedication for this. So thank you, everyone, for your support and continuing to get the word out. To close us up, I'd like to have Sheriff Herman Jones come forward and make a few remarks. Chief Kramer, would you like to come as well? Chief Kramer didn't know I was going to do that.
Well, sit here and you listen to that and give my partner here. I use the word partnership because that's what this is all about. I want to key up on one item here. National Night Out is not a one-night, a one-day event. It's year-round. And that's what Safe Street tries to do here, is try to get us acclimated to what we can do to make our community one of the safest communities we have and we own. It's been said that for all the events that are going on, it's diverse. You know, we got single homes, multiple homes, we got retirements, we got apartment complex. That's what National Night Out is about, for everybody in our community to take involved with that. But more important to anything and everything is to get to know your neighbors and get out and engage with that, because I truly believe if you know someone, you're more apt to take care of them. And we know we can't do this of fighting crime by ourselves. We rely on all of you with your eyes and your ears to help us do those type of things right there. So one thing I will challenge all of you in here is that when you're at those events and you see someone that you don't know go up and introduce yourself. And if you know everybody there, challenge yourself to find out something you didn't know beforehand. And the more we know about each other, the more we will have an opportunity to watch over and care and do those type of things right there. So I'm shut up and give it to my buddy here.
Well, the sheriff pretty much covered it all. Now, last night, the three of us, Christy, sheriff, and I, were on the red couch, and they asked what it was really about. And to me, it's about the neighborhoods coming together, getting to know each other, and watching out for each other. They also, I think my first event that I was invited to starts at 11 o'clock. So it's going to be a long day, but what a great problem to have when we have all these neighborhoods coming together and getting to know each other and helping us reduce crime. So thank you all for putting this together and getting the community to come together. Thanks.
Well, that concludes our meeting. Thank you, neighborhoods, for coming. Thank you for what you're doing on Saturday. We hope to see everyone on Friday at the kickoff party, 5:30, Huntoon Hill. Bring your appetite, as well as bring your appetite on Saturday, too. Events are listed at safestreets.org. Thank you all for what you do. Appreciate it. And oh, there's a pink slip review. If you wouldn't mind filling it out, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.